Okay, everyone, in this screencast here, I'm going to show you how to access the databases. And as I've mentioned to you before, you have a few different options to you. Some of you may decide that you want to use the online library databases. And these are databases that were specifically purchased through online learning for online students. And so the idea behind these databases is to provide access for students who don't have a home campus or don't take classes residentially anywhere. And so if you wanted to use these databases, you don't need a library card. You would just go to our Class D2L page and you would click on Online Library Databases, and this is the screen that will come up. What you're going to do, well, first of all, you can see that there's some contact information here in case you have any questions or you need help from a librarian if you get stuck with your research process along the way. So there's some nice contact information there. But what you're going to want to click on is this little tab right here, Articles and Databases. So you'd click on that. And it just let me in because earlier I was tinkering around with this and I already put in my login information, but you are actually going to see a different page that comes up. And the page is going to ask you to put in some information, and it's going to ask you specifically for your S number and for your birthday. And it's going to tell you exactly how to enter that information. It's very specific, so it'll tell you things like you need to capitalize the first letter of the of the month of your name. The month of your birthday, excuse me. And so you have to follow those instructions very carefully. Now, one thing that Eric and I noticed about the login is that if you are taking campus courses, residential courses, or if you use campus computers and you use a different login on your campus computer, that is the login that you're going to need to use. Just ignore the prompt that tells you to use your birthday and your S number. You're just going to have to use whatever it is that you typically use to log in on campus. If you get stuck trying to log in, if it's not accepting your username or password, there is a contact number there or a contact link that you can click on so that somebody can reset that information for you. And it'll only take you a minute to do that. So don't spend too much time getting frustrated. Just go on and click that help link and you can get reset if you need to. But once you get in, this is what it's going to look like. And you will see here that this is an alphabetical list of databases. So it's not a huge list, but it's enough, I think, for what we're doing in this course. And I am going to recommend that if you're using the online learning databases, the best ones for this particular paper for you are probably going to be Academic Search Premier, because this is a very general education database. We're not going to need something like Business Source Premier, but I think Psychology and Behavioral Sciences collection would be super useful to you, especially because we're looking at things like the good life and happiness, and a lot of those studies are very much linked to the fields of psychology and behavioral sciences. So I think these would be two great databases for you to search. You could try Points of View Reference. It kind of gives you different viewpoints on an issue. I'm not sure whether the good life and happiness is going to be considered a current or popular topic, so you may not come up with much in there, but it might be worth looking at. Science Reference Center may be useful. Newspaper Source may be useful. Although keep in mind that if you're looking at Newspaper Source, you're limited to just newspapers, and so coverage of this topic in a newspaper is probably going to be pretty thin. So I don't know how far you'll get with that. ERIC is another popular online, just a general online journal. And then I haven't used Topic Search, but that looks like one that might be relevant too. So there are definitely a handful of good, solid databases that you can use just through our online learning link there. Okay, now I'm going to go to a different link. Okay, now here I am at our Front Range Community College main home site. If you've never been to this page before, I assume most of you have, but if you haven't, it's really easy to find this site. You just need to go into Google and just do a search for Front Range Community College. It'll be the top first or second hit. And so go ahead and get to this site, and then if you're in here, what I'm going to show you now is how you are going to access the Harmony Library databases or the other two campus library databases. So where you would go from this site is you would click on, or you would kind of hover over academics here, and you're going to bring your little hand cursor down to libraries. You'd click on libraries, and you can see here that we have all four represented. This online learning link is not going to take you to anything significant, so just ignore that. The online learning databases are already embedded in our Course D2L site, so don't pay attention to this link. But you get to choose now which one you want to go to. And you'll remember that I was suggesting that you use the Harmony Library at Larimer campus because I have a barcode that you can use, which means you don't even need to go to the library. You can just use the barcode information that I have for you. So I'm going to show you this one next. So you would click on Harmony Library at Larimer campus. And this is just the FRCC library page. So you're going to scroll specifically down to find what you need. And then you're going to click on databases because that is, after all, what we're using to do our research. Okay, and so it let me in, and you will see the same screen here. This is an entire alphabetical list of all of the databases that the Front Range Larimer Harmony library purchases. And you can see this list is far more extensive than what we have available to us through just online learning. Up here you have an alphabetical quick link area. That's like if you know that you want a certain database. If you say, oh, I know my teacher wants me to use a ProQuest database, then you could click on P and it's going to take you right there. But otherwise you would just kind of scroll through all of these. And I'm sorry for making you dizzy here. But just like I mentioned in the online learning databases, Academic Search Premier is a great database to use. It's just very general. If you're using the this particular bank of databases, there's a couple of other ones that I'm going to suggest. I'm going to take you down to P here. ProQuest is a great one. Psych articles would be a great one as well, because as we said, this is a very psych-related topic. Psychology and Behavioral Sciences collection. This is another EBSCO collection, so just like Academic Search Premier that I showed you first, EBSCO, this is the same organization. They just have a specific collection connected to topics that are related to psychology and behavioral science. And so here are three other ones that I think would be useful. You could certainly go to this Science Journal ProQuest site too. That might be useful. I would say just kind of scroll through and see which ones are going to be most relevant. There are plenty that are not going to be relevant. You'll see something like small engine repair. Well, that's clearly not something that we need. This is a really popular one, SIRS, Social Issues Resources series. This is the kind of database that you might go to if you were taking like a history class or something and you were researching social issues throughout history, things like racism, welfare, immigration, women's rights, criminal justice, and so forth. So this is a great database. I'm just not sure how relevant it'll be to our particular topic. I'm just trying to scroll through here and see if there are any other ones that jump out at me. Newspaper Source is a great one. Again, the coverage might be a little bit thin because it's just looking at newspapers, but the Christian Science Monitor is a great publication, and so you can find some stuff in there. Let's see. There's a lot in here, as you can see, so you're just going to want to go in and kind of familiarize yourself with it. But I would say that for starters, try Academic Search Premier and some of the other journals that I pointed out to you in this area right here. Okay. Okay, so what if you're a student who is already based at the Boulder or the Westminster campus and you have a library card for those campuses and you just want to go ahead and use that library card to get in to a library database? You can do that as well. You would just come back to this libraries page and you're going to click on either Boulder County campus or you're going to click on Westminster. And so if you click on Boulder County campus, you will see that it just gives you the databases right here. Because Boulder County does not share its library with, because Boulder County Community College, the FRCC Community College at Boulder, does not share its library with the city of Boulder, it doesn't have the special library site where it launches you. It just takes you to the list of electronic databases. And then when you go ahead and you try to log in, it's going to ask you for your username and your password. Um, and so I'm not exactly sure what your username would be. I imagine your password it's going to be on your library card. If you have questions, you can click on this. You can call the Boulder Library, and I think they're going to help you get onto that site. You're going to notice that this list is not as extensive as the one through the Harmony Library, which is why I'm suggesting that you use the barcode and use the Harmony Library, but it does have some. ProQuest is a good one. I usually like CQ Researcher, but I searched it for our topic, Happiness and the Good Life, and there's not really very much in there. But I think you could start with ProQuest. You could probably look at Newsbank, but you're going to be pretty limited if you're using the Boulder library. So I might suggest looking at the online or the Larimer one in addition. And finally, if you're a Westminster-based student and you have a library card for Westminster, you can go ahead and click on the Westminster link. And then you're going to click on Search Our Databases. And it's going to take you to this really nice interface here. It's just, I like this interface. I think it's really clean. It's organized a lot like the Harmony Library in that you have this alphabetical listing, so you can go to any database that you're looking for, or you could just click on A and you can kind of search through like this. And so this one also has Academic Search Premier, which is awesome. And let me see, there's some other ones that I think are useful in here too. Newspaper Source, just like the Larimer. Psychology and Behavioral Sciences would be a good database to click on, and Science and Context I think would be another one. So just kind of scroll through and see which ones look good. So just to review one more time, if you are using the online databases, you just go to our class and you locate the green box on the right side and you just access it that way. If you're using one of the campus-based libraries, go to the Front Range home site. Scroll over to academics here and scroll down to libraries and then just follow whichever link you need. If you're using the Harmony Library, you're going to come on in here. And remember, databases is the key word that you're looking for to get you to the materials that you need. You are going to need to log in along the way. It'll only take you a minute or two to do so. If you get stuck or have any questions, feel free to let me know. You can also go to any of the library web pages and you can see where there's an answer center, there's campus librarians, and these people are there to help you. They are fully prepared to work with students at the Front Range campuses, and so any questions that you run into, you can call a librarian or you can get in contact with me. Thank you.